we are again releasing to the market starting this month. Okay, so but before that, of course, you need to know and understand who we are first. So we're ASUS, as you know. What is different from this time is that ASUS business is now an independent business unit. So expect that there's going to be an independent approach as well in terms of our events, in terms of our communication, and in terms of our partnerships. Because again, we stand alone as commercial business now. So together, alongside with our OP brother, which is our closest brother for now, because we share the name Asus Business. You may know us as Asus, of course, but again, we would like to reiterate and emphasize that we are Asus Business now, which is again a completely independent business unit handling commercial products. So that's commercial laptops and commercial desktops, which is the Expert series. Okay, so in the Philippines, in Taiwan, we're 35 years in the business. Number one in, as you know, all of these product segments, motherboards, gaming. We're also number two in consumer PC brand worldwide and surpassed the previous number two just last year. And later I will share more information about that. And also we're number one in consumer. Unfortunately, in Asia Pacific. Unfortunately, in the Philippines, we're not yet, but we're going there. And I'm sure our colleagues in consumer team is on their way to becoming number one as well in consumer. Because we're already number one in gaming. We're already number one in other regions, including Asia Pacific, except the Philippines. But again, that is what our colleagues in the consumer business unit is trying to achieve. And alongside that direction, we also want to have that position in the future. And we aim to be the number one commercial PC brand in 3 years. So right now, we're still number 4, number 5, but we are very close to the number 3 and 4 already. Our market share being less than 5% apart. So meaning it's just, and we achieved this in the last 3 years. And it's going to be easier for us because we have another 3 years to gain another 5% market share so we can be number 2, at least number 2, strong number 2 in the next 3 years. Okay? In global, we also have 16,000 plus employees. You know that. We have shared these slides many times before. But again, we would like to emphasize, similar to most of you that are here right now, professionals and tech, you can see that our employees are a third are engineers, R&Ds, and technicians. So which means that almost a third of our employees are the hardcore technical people, like technical experts like us. So if you remove us as sales employees, marketing employees, and admin employees, a third of our total headcount all over the world are technical people. And we have Alain being one of them, who is our FAE, or our field application engineer, who is part of that 5,000. So the emphasis again is we're really allocating a lot of our manpower resources in research and development. Because as an IT brand, we would like to, as you know, always want to search for incredible. Okay? In our product portfolio, you also know us as the brand that is selling laptops, ROGs, and maybe Zenfone or phones in the past. But a lot of our market, a lot of the people in the market doesn't know that we have more than that. We also have other products that are targeted to different segments of the industry. Okay? Not just consumer, not just gamers. We also have enterprise solutions for our corporate and enterprise customers. Also, our consumer team also talks about this, how we are viewed and also regarded as a number one technology brand by Fortune magazine, Times magazine, Forbes magazine, and even the Taiwan most recognized global brand. Okay? Also, our commitment, whenever we produce products, and what you will see and observe later on when we show you the differences of our products versus our competitors, we always want to consider not just becoming the latest, not just being the advanced, but we also want to make sure that our solution, our products, and our way of producing our products are sustainable and eco-friendly. So we have sustainability and green certifications really being in the forefront of how we develop products. Okay. Also, in terms of our leadership, you may know some of them, but I would emphasize Johnny Shi, which is Johnny Shi. I don't know how to pronounce that Shi because very difficult to pronounce. But he's one of the original founders of Asus. And he is still part of the business right now, making all the calls, making all the decisions. So that just gives you an indication of how original the organization is when they started the business. They are the people who built the business, and they're still part of the business now. So our direction is still what they envisioned the company to become when they started the business. In terms of innovation, all of this product innovations that we brought up to the market, really iconic products that really define the innovation and the future of technology in terms at least of computing. So being the first who mass produced the motherboards, being the first to launch the EPC or the netbooks, being the first to do the detachable, the transformer, being the first to launch the first foldable dual screen, and currently being the first, being the brand manufacturer that produces the world's lightest and world's thinnest laptops at the moment. So later on, we'll give you more information about this. In terms of recognition, we know you're familiar with all of them. These are the tech experts around the world recognizing Asus and giving us recognitions through these awards, 72,000 awards that we amassed in the years that we are in the business. Recognizing every time we produce a product, it's number one and it's the leading. So, you can refer to those institutions when you also want to cross-check like how they view our product and our brand. In terms of our latest recognition, so CES is a Consumer Electronics Show being held every year, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, electronic show expo in the world. And in this expo, we were awarded numbers of awards from media, not just as a brand, being the number one OEM, PC OEM in the world by CES this year, and having 53 plus, not even close to our second competitor. I think our next competitor received less than 20. So for us, ExpertBook has become one of the lineup of products that are already gaining attention from the global market. ExpertBook B5 being our first, not actually the first, because we also have the B9 in 2024, but we have the B5, who is which was awarded the CS Media Awards in 2025 this year. Okay. So as I have mentioned earlier, so this slide is actually very important to us because we want to bring this confidence of our consumer PC dominance, at least in the world minus China, because we already surpassed, it's there naman. We surpassed HP last year to be the second global PC manufacturer in the world. Okay, we still cannot beat Lenovo because they have the territory of China. Because China alone is more than 30% of the global market. So if you remove China from Lenovo, we can be number one or even close to them. So this position and also this business that we have in consumer can trickle down to our other businesses, which is now the direction of the company to really be strong in commercial. Which is why, again, as you also know, and as I've emphasized in the beginning, we are now an independent business unit with independent team members. So I have here the team of Asus Commercial PH, our sales team, our CPMs, our admin team, our vertical sales, and our channel sales team. So really an independent, including, of course, I forgot, our marketing. So Cam, our PR, and also Enka doing our PR as well, and then Rafa, who is our product marketing lead. And we are growing, not just in terms of headcount, but we are also growing in terms of business. Again, 3 years ago, we are less than 1% market share. But last year, we are already at 8% market share. Our next competitor is around 14 to 15, very close to us. So we will be able to surpass number 3 and number 4 within the next 3 years. Okay, in terms of our chance to challenge who we call the DHL. So we're one of the brands that can call DHL as our competitors because they're Dell, HP, Lenovo. Okay? Only the other A brand can tell DHL, but Dell cannot say DHL because it's just a funny name that we call them as our big competitors. So we also don't actually put Acer in terms of commercial as our competitors because they're not actually within our league. Because they're really strong in consumer, I can say that, really very strong. But in terms of commercial, aside from the Philippines, they're not number one elsewhere. Even in Taiwan, Asus business in Taiwan is number one in commercial, 40%. Like being the same brand in the same from the same country, Acer is not close to our position in commercial in Taiwan. We have over 40% market share there. Okay, so other credentials that we can mention about our opportunity to challenge our competitors. Breaking through in commercial is again a major challenge for us because we are already number 2 in consumer PC, which means that we are able to really bring in this experience in consumer to commercial, and that is what we're going to do and what we will do in the future. Okay, so again, why Asus business and why we are here? Aside from, again, this becoming the introduction of our grand launch, but before we go into that event and experience what Asus will have to offer, we would like to answer this question today. And we will specifically answer this in mostly technical aspects. Okay? So, to be able to answer this, we categorize our responses in 4 different pillars. Asus is one of the leading technology brands. Asus is also has a long trustworthy brand. We have an outstanding service, and also we have unbreakable durability and security. Okay, so briefly I will answer the first 3. First, leading technology brand, because again, as mentioned, we have other solutions for enterprise, not just laptops and desktop. We also have Tinkerboards, mini PCs, Chromebooks, Chromeboxes, routers. We also have Asus storage. We also have display solutions, robotics. We have AIoT. A lot more solutions for enterprise because again, we are not just a hardware manufacturer. We are a solutions brand. So we have multiple brands and multiple products and segments. Even in healthcare, we have. But that is a different theme. But for us, at least, we concentrate on laptops and desktops. But to differentiate our products from our competitors and comparing our commercial laptops also to consumer, we also have a lot of embedded solutions that are ideal for enterprise use. So in terms of consumer, as long as it looks good, as long as the components are latest, as long as it functions for the normal use of a regular consumer. But in terms of commercial, we need more. And we need more solutions and identifiers for them to consider commercial as opposed to consumer. Because for commercial, we have solutions in planning stage, configuration stage, deployment, support, management, and even retirement. So it's really an ecosystem of solution for enterprise and corporate use. For consumer, when you buy, you use, and then that's it. But in commercial, you need more solutions to be able to do your work much more efficiently. And we want to define that later on by, again, differentiating not just against our competitors, but generally against consumer products. Okay. Also, in terms of solutions, very technical for corporate and enterprise use. We have free solutions that are bundled to all of our devices because these are the needed solutions and foundation of IT in terms of enterprise. So BIOS security, cloud recovery, diagnostic tools, complete management of devices. So it's not just selling them the hardware in terms of specs, but selling them how the product is a complete solution as it is. Okay, in terms of productivity, we also have bundled free solutions that we would like to demonstrate, but at least we'll show a few of them. Okay? So starting with the expert widget. So expert widget is just a additional feature that we have in our laptop. So I actually call this speed dial because the four buttons on top can be configured as either an application, a URL, or a folder. So it's giving an option for the user to have more productivity and ease of use. So the user experience is actually added to it. Next is the Expert Meet. Expert Meet is actually a free AI solution that is bundled with all of our devices. Not just on our high-end model, but even on the entry-level model, we have these solutions bundled for free. So I'm not sure if Elaine was able to record. So when I started the presentation, Elaine actually recorded my speech. Go ahead. Okay, so what does it do? So it records my speech, or if it's a conversation, everyone who speaks can be recorded. But the question is, lahat naman ng laptops, desktop, also phones can record. What is different about Expert Meet? Because it actually transcribes. It transcribes. It actually transcribes what I say, so that it becomes a minutes of the meeting. Okay, so when you use this for online and offline meetings, the value of this free solution is that when you want to take notes, you don't need like multitasking. You just fluidly have a conversation with the person you're meeting, and then let the laptop just record the conversation. And then also, aside from that, it also summarizes. It summarizes the whole meeting so that when you want to send this summary to the person you're talking to your boss, or to your customer, that, by the way, this is the topic that we discussed during the meeting. then you just copy and paste and then send it to whoever you want. So this solution is actually local. It's not done in the cloud, and also the processing is done locally without internet or without Wi-Fi. So it's the AI function is being done by the laptop. Okay? So imagine the value of this when, like for me, I also talk to a lot of people. So I don't know what we discussed 2 weeks ago. But if I have this, I can just go back. Not listen to the entire conversation, but just go through the summary. What did these people tell me during the meeting? Then I can just go through it. So again, very simple solution, bundled free through the AI expert me. Okay. Aside from that, I'm not sure if Jerry can also help us demonstrate the AI translated subtitle. So while using the device again, offline and online, when you're in MS Teams, Zoom, or when you're in a Google's meeting online, if you turn on the AI expert meet, it can also translate directly. So for us, as a multinational company working with multinational people like Taiwanese here, Japanese, Chinese, at least for us, when we communicate with them, if it's challenging for both of us to translate in our languages, we can just use the laptop to translate, and we don't need to copy paste and then send. Oh, what do you want to say? Oh, I want to say happy birthday. And then the laptop can just say, what's happy birthday? Sorry, good morning. Good morning. Hello or hello. When I say hello and I cannot translate it to Chinese, then the laptop will just translate to ni hao. Right? And vice versa. So when I talk to my Taiwanese colleague, then I say, oh, what's the supercalifragilisticexpialidocious? If I cannot translate that to Chinese and they cannot understand, I can just use the laptop to translate that for me. So again, for us having this solutions bundled free is again our intention to make our users and our target customers get the value more than just the hardware, because we bundle IT solutions, productivity solutions that are ideal for commercial use. Okay, next. That's the first reason, leading technology, because again, we bundle and we make sure all of our products have technology built into it and free as much as possible. Second reason is long-term trustworthy brand. As you know, very simple, trusted by consumer market, gaming market, motherboard market. So being recognized as one of the world's trustworthy companies in succeeding years up to 2024. And also our list of recognized and big customers in terms of enterprise, in terms of different industries, finance, food, electronics, FMCG, infrastructure, BPO. These are already our customers, and silently, they are already our customers for more than 2 years. None of these customers are new in the last 2 years. Most of them, Jollibee, one example, is already our customer for 5 years. Because, again, before, in the past, we don't actually do a lot of marketing. We let our customers talk for us. And we are able to close Jollibee in the beginning, and we were able to close their other competitor companies in the same industry. Because when we tap one, we let this customer talk for us. And this is changing now. That is why we will be having this grand launch, because we will not just let these customers talk for us. We will also need the help of you, our media partners to really communicate not just our value but also our direction. Okay. In terms of education, you can see here the top 4 already are here: Ateneo, UP, LaSalle, UST. Top 2 international schools in the Philippines: International School Manila and British International School are already our customers for over 4 years. STI, a lot of state universities, even TESDA and DepEd last year. So last year, what actually was, I am confident to say, one of the cleanest DepEd bids that happened in DepEd. And we are one of the winners because, again, there were no favoritisms. That's why we were able to get business in DepEd last year. Okay, next. Then, of course, outstanding service. We also know the value of our after sales. So when our customers buy our products, we already are confident that they can trust that our products are reliable, durable, and secure. But we also want to make sure an additional layer of protection for them, that when in terms of after sales, whenever they need support and also technical assistance, we have very outstanding support that we provide. Okay. So I don't need to mention again, but I would like to emphasize the one in the middle. Okay, aside from toll-free, default international warranty, free accidental damage protection, 7 days DOA, the same thing as consumer. But what is different in commercial is, we have the expert power warranty. What is expert power warranty? Because we give warranty to the battery. So our battery warranty is the same as the system or the same as the device, which is 3 years. So our competitors cannot give that for free. They have to charge their customers to have their battery warranty. Because battery is consumable, as we can consider it as a consumable. Because there's degradation and generational loss. But for us, we still give 3 years warranty free to all of our commercial devices. And we didn't actually stop there. We even included the charger. So imagine accessory na lang, we still provide 3 years warranty. So this value alone, if you compare it to our competitors, is already over 3,000 plus additional upgrade. But for us, we give it for free. So again, the communication is all expert books have 3 years minimum battery warranty. So aside from that, again, the international warranty that, again, other competitors are charging with additional premium, but for us, it's bundled for free. Okay. So aside from those service agreements, we also have digital reporting for commercial customers, dedicated account in charge. We have also over 115 service centers and over 30 plus drop-off points. So all over the Philippines, this is also one of the reasons why we were able to participate in the DepEd project, because the deployment of DepEd project is nationwide. So you have to have service within 24 hours to accommodate the concern. International warranty, all of these countries, 80 plus countries that any of our customers can claim service warranty from. And then in summary, aside from all of the free service agreements that we have, we also have optional next business day. Premium accidental damage protection, upgrading the accidental damage to up to 5 years, and also the defective hard drive, or what we call hard drive retention. Because for our customers with confidential information, they require the service warranty for hard drive retention to keep their drive where they store their confidential information. So in summary, we have warranty that can be upgraded to 5 years. Next business day, the default on-site also. This is also, again, I forgot, the difference between consumer and commercial. Another value that our users may not actually factor in when they consider buying laptops. Our laptops are on-site service, so meaning anywhere in the world, anywhere in the Philippines, sorry, aside from the 80 countries, anywhere in the Philippines, we will go to the customer. They don't need to go to their store or their supplier. Our service technician will go to their facility. So minimal downtime because they don't need to surrender the laptops. We can fix and also we will service the devices on site. Okay. And then the fourth reason, this one is actually the most exciting part when I always present this slide. Unbreakable durability, reliability, and security. So, but before that, let's watch this first. Okay, sorry, we don't have audio, but we will put this in the kits, okay, so that you can also use these materials for your future use. So this video actually shows you about the reliability, durability, and also the toughness and the illustration and demonstration of our product durability. Okay, so we'll skip that video. We'll just share that to you later. Okay, so this is military grade testing. As you know, in consumer they also have the same. They're actually also adapting the same standard. So at least their products in terms of consumer can also be considered as military grade. However, for us, it's superior durability testing that we do. So military grade is actually a certification that you acquire as a manufacturer from a third-party laboratory to test your products for procedures and tests and categories. So you acquire a certain number of you pass a certain number of testing, and you can already call your products military grade. But for us, again, we do superior durability, wherein we do more testing than the industry demands. So in military grade, you only need to go through 28 procedures. Again, if you pass, I think, a minimum of 6 out of that, you can already call your products military grade. But for us, we do more than the industry standard, 44 procedures. We don't need to do it, but however, that's how we want to guarantee that our products are more durable, so that we actually do more than what the industry demands us to do. So our testing is actually done higher than our competitors. So in terms of the brand ng mga sabon dito, brand XYZ, okay? So Asus actually undergoes the most number of procedures and methods that we do. And some other brands are even not disclosing their military grade certification. But for us, we publish everything. And I'm not sure if every one of you can recognize who this brand is. This brand call themselves military grade, but they're only doing 6 methods. Meaning their testing is maybe just the panel, just the keyboard, just the screen, but doesn't really do a lot of testing to certify and make sure that their products are durable. So compared to our entry level, we have 13 methods and 28 procedures, as opposed to our brand Y and Z competitor, wherein they're doing almost similar to us. However, I would emphasize that this is done on our entry level model, B1. This is done on our entry-level model. And they are doing this in their flagship model. Okay? So flagship meaning yung pinakamahal nila. So comparing their certification versus our entry level, our high-end model are more durable than theirs. Okay? And again, special mention to this brand, which is again our very aggressive competitor, but their products are less durable than us. Okay? So we have the links and we can share that to you later actually. Okay? So these are just some of the tests that we do. Okay? So for us to be able to guarantee that our products are durable and can really withstand very rigorous and also very rugged conditions. And we want to sample some of them. So hopefully some of you can also help me demonstrate. Okay? So starting with what? Drop test. Okay? Our products can actually, I'll open it first so you can see. Our products can withstand drops. Okay? Sandali, kinakabahan ako. So, it's still alive. Okay? One more. Andito yung component, sir. Mas ano pa yun, sir? Kinakabahan ulit ako. It will survive. So actually, it can actually do higher, 120 meters. But of course, because of the hard surface. Of course, pag dito na siya pinagsak, it's different. Dahil syempre may mababasag na. But at least in carpeted and also in soft surface, it can survive. So imagine a laptop. This is P5, by the way. This is our mid-end model, not even our high-end model. And I can actually do this also to our entry-level model later. So who can try for me? B1. Sir. Don't worry, hindi ka namin i-charge.
Drop test mo na, drop test mo.
This is B1, our entry-level model.
Ano?
Okay? Entry-level.
Sige. Kaya mo yan.
Okay? Entry-level. This is I can be less than 35K units of laptop. Kinakabahan ako, entry-level eh. Yeah. It can survive. Okay, yeah. So the laptop is still alive. Okay? Okay, so that's just first test. So the first test is guaranteeing that 120 meters. Of course,
Centimeters.
plus and minus na lang yan, depending on the surface. But again, would you do that to your laptops? If that happens, talagang kakaba ka na, oh no, yung reports ko, oh yung mga emails ko, oh, kailangan kong bayaran to sa company ko because I broke my laptop. So imagine an enterprise owner or a SMB entrepreneur giving laptops to their employees. And then they're using a consumer laptop or less superior laptop. Then how productive they can be if in case something happens to their laptop. It's already a loss of money for the owners. Right? Loss of money for the business. Even me, when I lose my laptop, for example, for a day, nagpapanik na ako kasi ang daming hinahabol sa aking reports. Ang daming emails na kailangan kong sagutin. So imagine how it will actually equate to a cost of opportunity loss if something happens to your laptop. Okay, next, we have the twist test, okay? And hinge test, pinagsama na namin. So in the video kanina, pinakita namin that we can open and close the laptop for 50,000. So roughly, that's 10 years of open and close. So also, the twist test, so that you know that kapag na-twist yung LCD, magkakaroon siya ng line or talagang dead pixel na siya. But even if I handle the laptop like this, it can survive. I don't need to worry na, pasa mo nga to. Like, I can handle the laptop like this and still the LCD will do that. So if I do this in front of our customers, they really get really impressed about the durability of our products. Dulo corner ko na siya hinahawakan Okay? So, you can try. So, mapibend lang siya ng konti. When you bend it back, it's flat again. Okay? So, I don't... Yeah, you let them sample. So, the hinge also is more durable so that it can withstand the weight. Yung weight ng body is more than the LCD. So, imagine if you handle that, the hinge will break. Good shot. Yeah? So imagine like holding a laptop like this. Of course, we will not do that. But however, we want to guarantee that when you have certain scenarios that happens to you, hindi ka
naman mag-shot to.
So also,
walang daya.
test it in the back. So you can also drop it there. Okay? So
sayang.
if you want to take videos later, you can do it on your own. But of course, we will have more opportunities to lend them to you later on so that you can also test it for yourself. Okay? Next, panel pressure. Okay? Panel pressure is, for example, in a lot of cases, kapag nagmamadali tayo umuwi, naiiwan natin yung ballpen natin or kung ano man yung naiiwan natin dito sa harap. Tapos, biglang isasara natin. Even if I do this, okay? So, even if I do this, the ballpen inside, the screen will still survive. Thank you.
Magic.
Okay, so it's not magic. Like you can do that. Like you can do that, sir. Okay, like kahit na ganun mo pa siya, diinan mo pa, you can really make succeeding torture on it that will survive. Okay? Next is port durability.
Yan, gusto ko yan.
So, I want to explain this by showing you first our design. So in here, you can see that our ports, can you show? Our ports are reinforced. So when it's reinforced, meaning any connection that you put on it, hindi aalog yung motherboard. Because when if you know, when the motherboard breaks, you have to replace the whole motherboard. If the port, for example, LAN cable, USB port, LAN port, HDMI port, parang ngipin yan. Pag umuga yan, hindi mo na yan mababalik. But for us, we put additional security wherein we put reinforcement so that it will stay intact. So one example that we do to demonstrate this is 8 kilograms of weight. Okay? So, 8 kilograms siya. So, when you connect anything there, like when we want to connect a LAN cable, of course, sino bang gagawa nito? Diba? Pero kunyari nasagi mong ganyan, diba? Pag nasagi mong ganyan, wasak na yung LAN port mo. But for us, it's reinforced that it can carry up to actually 9 kilograms. Okay? 8 kilograms lang kasi yung kettlebell na available eh. Dagdagan ko ng 1 kilo para maging 9. So that we can do that. So hopefully later when you want to demonstrate, you can also do it yourself. Okay, this is again 8 kilograms of weight. So hindi ito styro Ito yan So that's really 8 kilograms of weight. And we are able to have more durable I/O ports that later on we can compare also and show you how our competitor brands are designing their higher ports compared to us. Even on our entry-level model, entry-level model to us, we can guarantee that it will stay intact. Okay, next. Ramp pressure. So, ito na yung sa ibabaw. So, screen sa loob, kanina, nasa binagsak. I am actually 97 kilograms. Okay, almost 100 na. Okay? But even if I do this, okay, if I put my whole body pressure on it will survive. Okay, so I'll do more. Pareho naman yung medyas ko. Saka hindi siya mataas. I can step on it. I can step on the laptop. 97 kilograms. And the laptop will still. So, actually the record is 115 yata. So, who wants to try? Sino ba ang mas mabigat pa sa akin? Dapat pala yung mas ano muna. Yeah, you can, sir.
Sure po. Sige.
Yeah, let's try. Kasi it can...
I'm 125 ata, 120.
Lagpas ka ng konti.
Ah.
Yeah, 120 ang pinaka-max actually. So, if I carry 20 kilograms behind my back and then step on it, it can still work. So may allowance pa ako. Okay? So later on, you can try. So I'll just finish the presentation so that you can also experience the product for yourself. Okay? And then lastly, again, we will not do it on our flagship and our mid-end model. We will do it on our entry-level model. Okay? Our entry-level model, again, entry-level model, entry cheapest is also hindi kami sponsored ng Summit, so okay, cool. It's still resistant. So, all over the top, of course, wag lang papasukin yung gilid tsaka yung likod because again, corrosion can happen. Okay? So, but again, what is the scenario for this happening to you? Nasa desk ka, may coffee ka, tapos natapon, or water natapon. Then, kabahan ka na, dahil, again, kailangan mo na namang bayaran yung laptop sa kumpanya nyo. Diba? Kailangan mo na namang ipa-repair. And also, worse, your data and also your work will be compromised. Okay? But for our entry-level model, all of our products are spill resistant. Okay? Okay, so that's actually the exciting part. But hopefully, it was also exciting for you because although accident may still happen, but at least in that demonstration, nothing happened to the laptops that we tortured. Okay? So aside from that, we have more, but we don't have the facility to do that, like freeze or thaw or heat, and also of course humidity. We also have those testings, but it has to be in a controlled environment. But at least for proper demonstration of hardware durability, we're able to show you all of this. And you can guarantee that when you choose Asus Expert Book, even from entry level to flagship model, you can guarantee that you can do all of this. The entry level model, I can also do this. Okay? So imagine, presyo ng pang-estudyante to. And this is actually the model that we sold to DepEd. And we're very proud that we're giving reliable products to our teachers and students starting last year. And it's less than 30,000.
Wow.
As you know, last DepEd, diba, i3 at the price of i7. Sorry, I don't need to be political, okay? Because that's how proud we are. because we sold these devices to DepEd. And we know that students and teachers, public schools and teachers are using this entry-level model. Imagine nyo kung Kobe ang ginagamit nila, or China brand na in the last maybe 5 years or more, they're buying these brands. China and Kobe and Sony, Panasonic or whatever. Mga China brands. They're buying that. And now we're selling our expert book B1 already to our public school teachers and students. Okay? Okay, so a lot more advantages aside from leading technology, low trustworthy brand, superior service, durable and reliable products. We also have a lot of advantages. But we want to show these advantages only to our entry-level model. Okay, again, ito tapatan na. As in, we want to compare our products versus our competitor DHL. Kayo na lang bahala maglagay kung sino si brand X, Y, and Z later. But this is how our entry-level model stacks versus our competitors. Okay. So we'll go through them one by one so that we can then also explain what's the value of each red items. Because if you compare that to Downey and Ariel, okay, brand X and Y, so we have better specs. In the entry-level series pa lang, entry-level. Again, entry-level. This is the product that we sold to them. Not this, but this same series. Okay? We'll go through them one by one. So again, price, we can be more competitive than them. You know that there's premium in the brand of DHL because they're known already. So why would you pay that premium for buying the brand when you can buy this specs and this advantage, okay, and save more money for your company and your business? Okay, go through them one by one. In terms of display, RP1 actually has better screen resolution. So see, Downey and Ariel, 250 nits, but we have 300 nits. This is brightness. In terms of brightness, our screen are more vivid than our competitors. Kahit na entry level lang siya. So sabi nila, okay na yan kasi mag-excel lang naman sila dyan, mag-browse lang naman sila dyan. They don't need high nits or brightness. But again, we consider having a more advanced IPS panel versus our competitors' TN panels at the same value. Okay? So in terms of next. Yeah, the second slide. Yeah, so in terms of display technology, we also have more advanced, so more fluid. So this is ours, this is our competitor. So you can see the hertz or the refresh rate. So yeah, the refresh rates. Again, salesperson po ako. Okay. Yeah, so in terms of refresh rate, we have higher refresh rate than our competitors. Again, entry level lang kasi sabi nila, mura lang ang benta natin dyan eh. Kailangan lang naman nilang mag-Excel, mag-Word, tsaka mag-PowerPoint dyan. They don't need this more advanced panel. But for us, we didn't cut corners. We put much higher, at least higher or equivalent to our competitors. Next. CPU. Our CPU is also more advanced than our competitors. We're using Ultra 7 258. Our competitors are using 155. Okay. So in terms of tops and speed, okay, much higher in terms of the CPU. Although we use the same U7, pero CPUs are not the same. They're not created equal. So generation and also the version are different. So pag sinabi na, U7 kami, but we're using the older U7 generation CPU. We're using the latest already. Okay, next is the memory. So we're using DDR5. Our competitors, ito ba yung bago? Yeah, so we're using 8533. Sorry, this is not on board. Sorry, this is not on board. Sorry, this is not on board. Okay, this is wrong. This is removable. Our competitors are using this one is using DDR4. This is DDR. This is DDR4, right?
Laser model is E5.
Okay, sorry, this is a new presentation. But again, in terms of there are two main advantages for Asus. First is we are using two removable DDR5 slots, meaning you can replace and you can change. So in the future, if you need to upgrade, you can just add more. But for our competitors, they only use one and then DDR4 back. Later on, we'll give you the full comparison table so that we can show you how our components are more advanced and more latest than theirs. And again, also one of our competitors, they only have one additional because the other one is soldered. So what's the disadvantage of soldered? Dahil nakahinang na siya dun sa board, you cannot replace them anymore. So meaning, if you upgrade to higher RAM, yung isang slot lang ang mapapalitan mo. So you can only achieve up to 24 or I don't know, 24. But for us, you can do up to 64 if you put two 32s. Okay? Even on our entry-level model, we have two DIMM slots and two SSD slots. Okay? Next, in terms of, again, the port durability. So in here, you can see, we can show them around. Okay? Versus our competitors. So our I/O ports are reinforced with metal sheets. Okay? Metal reinforcement so that it can really stay intact within the body and also the port. Our competitors actually, wala na, exposed na yung ports nila. So when you look at their design, mas madaling masira yung mga ports nila. Okay. Next, in terms of hinge, ito rin yung madalas masira when you buy laptops, di ba? When you use it for more than 2 years, pag sinasara mo yung laptop mo, ganito mo na siya isara kasi sira na yung hinge. Tapos hindi na siya flat. Because of the hinge that they use, they're using consumer they're using only, again, see, brand Y and Z, they're using 25,000 cycles only. So their hinges are only tested to last 25,000 cycles. But for us, we do 50,000 cycles. And that's how sure we are that the hinge will not be a problem for you if you compare our products to our competitors. Because again, of our reinforced hinge. Okay, next. So our design, aside from our products designed very well already, the design also is targeting how IT technicians and normal users can service the devices when they need to add components, when they need to remove something. Our design is much more easier and more serviceable. Because of this, we have anti-folding screw. So one example for this is, if you're an IT technician for Jollibee, for example, they have more than 1,000 employees in one building, and they need to upgrade their memory because one of the software that they need to use has to be using higher memory, for example. So imagine the pain and also the stress that the IT technician will have to undergo, changing all of those 1,000 units. But for us, when they service our products, it's much more easier. because our access is only to remove 4 screws that are anti-falling. It stays in the cover. Compared to our competitors, this is brand, hindi ko alam, X ba to or Y. Okay? They have, kung ilang butas yung nakikita nyo sa liwanag, they have 11 screws. For them to open the device, they need to remove 11 screws. And if you see this, if you check this, there are 2 different sizes. So what are the risks for having 2 different sizes? Kapag nagkamali ka dun sa maliit, nilagay mo dun sa malaki, and vice versa, either mabasag or hindi talaga magkakagat yung broadcast. So imagine you need to keep 11 screws. Tinape namin dito para hindi mawala. Kasi kapag binalik namin siya, if I need to do service for this, imagine how many times I need to consume to remove this. And I need to keep this sa lalagyan ng gamot. Diba? Diba? Doon natin siya itatago. And may mga jokes pa nga yung mga IT technicians na ina-explain namin. 11 screws. Pero pag balik nila, nagiging 12 daw. Nanganganak daw yung screw. Kasi either hindi nila nalagyan yung isa, tapos nasumobra dito, kaya hindi na nila alam kung saan nila lalagay. So, but for us, it's just 4 screws, one size, and you don't need to keep them because it stays here. Much more easier to service. So again, the value for this is not for one user. The value for this is for an IT person managing hundreds and thousands of units. So imagine the saving that they can do in terms of time. Next is toolless design. So even our laptops, toolless na siya. Kasi we actually introduced that first on our desktop. So our desktops, if you want to remove this, actually you don't need tools. There is just screw. You can just use your hand and then it's closed already. You don't need tools. So we brought that toolless design. Even our components, when you want to change the components, you don't need tools to replace and to add more components. Okay, so we brought that toolless design to our laptops by having the first latch design for batteries. Okay, toolless for the battery. Our competitors, again, unahin muna natin yung competitors natin. This one, when I need to remove the battery for whatever purposes, I need to remove 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 screws. I need to remove 5 screws to remove the battery. But for our entry-level B1, it's just a latch. Okay? So you can remove very easily by just unlocking the latch. Okay? No need for tools. It's, again, the first toolless battery design. Okay, the value again, if we want to talk to our customers about this, we have 1,000 laptops. After 3 years, you need to replace the battery because after 3 years, madali na siyang mag-drain. Then much easier for you to service our products. Compared to our competitors, lahat yan screw pa siya. But I can give credits to some brands. I know D brand also has one. I mean some, but they have it on their mid-end to high-end models. But for us, from our entry level to high-end, we have the same design. Okay, next, mesh. So the mesh is actually for you to avoid this from happening. So this is also a very usual scenario. Dahil yung laptop natin madaling uminit, yung laptop natin mabagal, tapos umiingay. Mostly it's because of this. Accumulation of dust, dead skin cells, and or hair. So imagine, like in number of years that you're using your laptop in not a clean environment, this will happen. But for us, we put an additional protection. So we put a mesh. A mesh actually protects at least to reduce the number of foreign components that will go into the fan. So again, the careful consideration of our IT people doing this versus our competitors na grills lang siya because they need the grills dahil gusto nila mas maraming hangin yung pumasok. Another reason why they want to do that because they have smaller fans. So fan and heatsink nila is smaller than ours. So imagine ours almost entire of the laptop is covered by the fan and the heatsink. But our competitors, dito lang, 1/4 lang or less than half ang kino-cover ng heatsink and fan nila. So the design again is, kailangan nila ng mas maraming airflow, kaya very open na yung likod nila. But for us, we put additional protection just to avoid that from happening. Okay, next. Military grade testing again. For full transparency, this is the testing of our entry-level models versus our competitors' flagship models. Okay? So our testing for our entry level is 24 items. Our competitors are 13 and 11, but they also, 20 items, 20, close to us. But this is their flagship. This is our entry level. Our entry level passes more durability testing compared to their flagship models. So, yeah, kailangan naman, required. Mas mababa pa sa amin. But for us, entry level again, our cheapest, most affordable models already have this certification. Next. Okay, also, discrete TPM, which is again another level of security that enterprise customers need. Our competitors are using firmware TPM, but for us, we're using hardware TPM. Okay? Much more secured, much more advanced in terms of security. Also, NIST, SP500 compliant. So for biosecurity and network security compliance, you need this. Again, they can do this also, but they're doing this on their mid to high-end models. But we're doing it on our entry-level models. We have all the basics on our basic model. Okay. Chassis intrusion, another additional security. Again, if you are deploying hundreds and thousands of units and you don't want your employees to mess with the laptops, they are not allowed to open the devices. They're not allowed to have it serviced elsewhere. The chassis intrusion can be a protection for the IT admin. So when the device is open, pag tinanggal yung likod, actually a light sensor will log that the device was open. So again, if you have no security clearance to all of your employees to open the devices, you can check, why did you open the device last October 4? Anong ginawa mo? May tinanggal ka bang memory? May tinanggal ka bang hard drive? Pinalitan mo ba yung components? So again, entry-level model having this security, may competitors namin they have, but they have it again on their higher-end models. It's on our entry-level model. Okay, next. Also, as additional premium to our P series, the P series that we're launching on the event is the series that are the silver body. Okay, so this is P5 and this is P3. Okay. So we have P1, almost the same as this one, but only in silver color. The only difference is, again, the color of the body. But components are almost the same. But to target our prosumer customers, our professional consumer, we bundled McAfee Premium for free. So this is $45 or 2,500 peso value that is bundled free to all of our P-series devices. Okay, so this is McAfee Premium, which means that it also has 1 year VPN. Okay, so free again. So they don't need to buy McAfee antivirus, and free na yung 1 year na VPN for free when they buy Expert P-series. Okay. Okay, so when we compare our components versus our competitors, so yung mga ayaw lumapit, we can just show you the difference of our products. Maybe you can show ours. Okay? So, no, hindi natakpan. Don't picture. Yeah, so one by one. So, HP versus our competitors. Yeah. So, huwag natin isa-isahin. So, for them, look at the heatsink. Their heatsink is smaller than ours. Then you can show, then they can show you ours. Theirs also doesn't have IO shield, USB, HDMI, or Type-C. No reinforcement.
Thank you.
They only have one SSD. They only have dual RAM, DDR4 RAM. Ours is already DDR5. Smaller battery. Their battery is smaller than ours. I said heatsink is smaller than ours. Tapos, protection of their Wi-Fi module is just plastic. And then, speaker nila doesn't have suspension. Versus another brand. Okay? Don't picture again. Okay, don't picture. Okay? They're using old DC. I haven't mentioned this pala earlier. They're all using DC jack. Meaning, their charger has to be specific to the laptop. But for ours, we're using USB Type-C. And it's full functioning Type-C. Meaning, it can display, it can read and write, and it can also charge. Okay, when I say charge, you don't need your power bank. I mean, you don't need your charger specific already. You can use ordinary power banks. And when I say you can only, charger. When I say you can only charge using power bank, all of our laptops, including the entry level, can charge using ordinary power bank. This is ordinary power bank. Okay? Alam natin na lahat naman ng Type-C na charger, na port ng laptop can charge ng power bank, right? But you need what? Specific wattage, 65 watts. Kung Type-C siya. But our competitors, wala siyang Type-C, DC jack ang gamit niya, so kailangan niya yung power bank, yung charger niya. But for us, you can charge
Type-C na yung sa Asus.
using ordinary power bank. So, 150 pesos na power bank can charge. So, imagine, the 65 watts, if you look at Shopee and Lazada, the cheapest I think is 2,000 pesos. Anchor, nasa mga 2,500. So, that one can charge this. That one can charge another laptop ng competitor namin na naka-Type-C. But for us, because we are using a different kind of USB, we're using full functioning, it can also do reverse charging. Okay? So all our laptops, including the entry level, can charge using ordinary power bank. You don't need 65 watts na power bank. Okay? So DC jack, again, that's a disadvantage. When you travel, kailangan mo dala yung charger mo. Ngayon, kung chapsuy yung mga laptops ng kumpanya ninyo, ano yung charger? Ano yung laptop mo? HP. Ano yung laptop mo? Dell. Oh, pwede ba kayo mag-change ng power bank? Ng charger, sorry. Ng charger? No, you have to bring your own. And sa amin, kahit na yung phone charger ko na lang, or yung gun charger ko, actually I use gun charger. I use gun charger to charge my laptop. So I don't need to bring the big bricks na ganito. Okay? Ito kasi sa monitor to, di ba? So imagine if you have to travel, you need to bring this big charger brick. But for us, for all of our laptops, you can just use a regular USB charger. Okay? Tiny battery, no lead magnet, only M.2 to 230, no antenna, smaller speaker, no I/O shield. Another brand. Compared to ours, so we have our ExpertBook P1, B1. Again, this is our entry level model. Pinaka-cheapest. No need to, I would like to emphasize, ito yung pinaka-mura naming laptop. But you can see, compared to our competitors, we have larger heatsink. We have reinforced hinge. We have dual removable RAM and SSD. We have bigger batteries. We have larger speaker. We have antenna lock. We have discrete TPM. We have reinforced I/O shield. We have tool-free latch design. We have chassis intrusion. We have fan stabilizer. We have yung hinge, as I mentioned earlier. Again, we can remove all of this and just use the standard one if we want to be competitive. If we want to sell volume, remove all of this, just use the standard one. But we don't want to do that. Again, we're already cheaper than any of these three competitors. We may not be cheaper than the other A brand. But again, you can compare also the quality of their design and also their build. Compared to our entry level, we're cheaper than DHL, but we give this value to our customers. So hopefully this demonstration, this information, and again, this comparison will also be more known to the market so that we can be identified as different than our competitors. And that's what we wish for all of you to do for us. So again, similar or lower in terms of overall SRP, we can be cheaper, but you can see our products are more advanced and the advantages are much, much more than our competitors. Okay, so that's it for me. So that's actually the most exciting part. And before we